Good morning. I am Stampin' Dee Dee, and you are here on my Facebook page, and we are going to do a really fun demonstration today. And I hope that I've made it easy enough for you because once you do it, I know you'll love it. Doing it is a little bit intimidating, but once you do, you are going to love it. So, this is called the Pleated Prism fold, and I first saw this demonstrated by Susan Campfield, and that's been several weeks ago, and I've seen it once since then by someone else, so it's obviously been something that's been popular, and I've wanted to do it. So today's the day. All right, let's see. I need to refresh here and see if I have anybody live. If you're watching live, if you would just say hi, tell me where you're from. I would love to know that, and that helps me to know that I can be heard and I can be seen. So I think it's time to get this demonstration on the road. So I'm going to click refresh one more time and see what we've got here. All right. So this is a sample of the card that we're going to make, and I have two more samples that I made that I'm going to show you at the end. They're really cute samples, so you want to hold on. So here it is. Wait for it. Look at that. Is that not amazing? This is your fold right here in the middle. So when your receiver opens it up, they get this surprise. Now I hope that you can see that. Let me see. See, this is how it looks. All right. You can use solid paper. You can use pattern paper. I haven't tried cardstock yet. So I just use designer series paper every time. All right, so here we go. Here we go. This is what we're going to do. Now, this is what you need. You are going to need a piece of 11 by 4 1/4 cardstock. And you score that at 5 1/2. So there we have that. I used basic beige on this card. Then, and I had pre-cut all of my pieces just to make it easier. Then for the front of the card, you're going to need a 1 by 4 piece that's going to go right here. A 1 by 4 piece of designer series paper. And then I matted mine. I noticed I need to get a rough edge off here. Do you keep an emery board by your workstation? I tell you what, when you get a rough edge, they're wonderful. So I matted mine. I used Misty Moonlight, and the Misty Moonlight piece is 4 by 4. I'll put that over here. And this is for the front, and then I used Petal Pink, and that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8, and that's just so, it has just a tiny little edge around it. You can see we're going to do that here in a moment. But that's the front of your card, plus whatever you want to decorate with. Okay, we're going to set that aside, and then you need 4 pieces, actually, 4 pieces for the inside. You need a mat that is 3 3/8 by 3 7/8, 3 3/8 by 3 7/8, and you need 2 of those. And then you need 2 lighter colored pieces that are 3 1/4 by 3 3/4, and these are just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you can see it's going to mat this, I see. That's usually when I know that my trimmer needs a new blade. When I have to start sanding my pieces. So that's what's going to go on the inside. And then we have our pleated piece. And I use Designer Series paper for that. And it's 4x4. So that's it. That is all you need. 2 matted pieces for the inside, 1 matted piece, and a 1-inch, 1x4-inch square, or 1x4-inch strip for the outside, and then your pleated piece, Designer Series paper, is 4x4. So we're going to set that aside right now, and we're just going to fix these pieces. So I'm going to take my front piece, and I'm going to adhere the lighter colored cardstock to the mat. I shouldn't have that on top. There we go. All right. Now, I am going to do some decorating on the front, and if you want to do that first, certainly you can do that first. All right, we have that piece, and I am going to go ahead and, well, I'm not going to do any actual stamping on this. I've got some cutouts. If I were going to do stamping on this, I would do it now before I put it on my card base, but I'm not. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card base. And I'm going to just leave a little bit of a border here, top and bottom and side. And then I'm going to put this piece. Now you could mat this if you wanted to. I haven't done that. I haven't felt the need to do that, but you could. Certainly you could. And I'm going to butt it up with just a little bit of a space, about the same amount of space. But I'm not going to worry about the area here, because when we actually put the pleated piece in and close it, we may have to make a new crease here. So we want to leave a little bit of space here. All right, we've got that done. We're going to go ahead and put our inside, or get our inside pieces ready. We'll get all this part done. Now I am going to do some stamping on these, so I might go ahead and do that now. Again, thank you if you're watching, and if you are, please let me know. Please say hi. Let me know that you're on. I appreciate it so much. All right, we're going to put this piece on here. This is your 3 3/8 by 3 7/8 piece, and 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. It's your matted, your 2 matted pieces for the inside. I will put all measurements and photos on my blog, stampinddspot.blogspot.com. So if you want to go there afterwards, I won't get that on until this afternoon, but you can go and get the measurements, and that might make it easier for you. Good morning, Kay. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for being here this morning. I think I've shown you this. You're gonna love it. All right, we have our 2 inside pieces matted. So I'm going to go ahead. This one will be on the right side. It'll be here. This one will be here. This is where I want to be able to write any note I might make. So I don't want to put much on there, but I thought what I would do maybe is, I'm using the Winterly Treetops. And I might just put a little bit of a piece of greenery. This is kind of a wreathy thing. I may just put it on the top. And I'm using Basic Beige ink. And I'm going to put it right here on the top of this one. There we go. Awesome. And I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight blend. I'm going to use the light Misty Moonlight and go ahead and do those berries. Because the berries are, will be on the front too. So I'm just going to berries in there. And so I used Lost Lagoon for my leaves on the front. So I guess I could go ahead and my light Lost Lagoon. Let's see, that may be too much. It's not enough difference from the berries, is it? I'll do the big leaves in Lost Lagoon, and I'm not coloring the whole leaf. So this is on that petal pink, and it doesn't do quite the same way as the basic white. Maybe I ought to go on and do the whole leaf, because I don't think I can do any blending on this petal pink. So we'll just create our leaf right here. Okay. I really hadn't planned to do this, but I don't know. Maybe I should have just left it. So, just to give you an idea of what to do and what not to do, right? All right, I've got the bigger leaves. Oh, there's a bigger leaf right there. Yep. Got the bigger leaves done, and I think now I'll use maybe, I want a light, so maybe the Granny Apple Green for these, just to give just a little bit of color. Yeah, that's looking good. I see some berries I missed, so I'm gonna, and I'm just, oh, there's another berry. They're easy to miss. I'm gonna make sure you can see this. All right. Okay, I missed 2 berries over here and 1 right there. So let me get my berries, and that was with Misty Moonlight. With the light Misty Moonlight. So I missed this berry and this berry and 1 right here. And I'm leaving the tops white. Oops, there's 1 right there too. All right. Okay. So now that sort of gives a semblance of using a little bit of color. Let me put my blends back. All right. So that's my inside piece here, and this is where I'll write my sentiment. And then on this piece, I thought I would just do a shadow, sort of some birds, because I'm going to have birds on the front. So I'm going to use Basic Beige again with the double bird stamp. And I'm going to use I'm going to stamp off. That means I'm going to stamp it once on a piece of scratch paper. And then I'm going to stamp it again right here. Now you can just barely see it, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to just barely see it. And you probably can't even see it. All right, we've got that part done. And we have, now we can do our front. Let me move these aside. So on the front, I fussy cut, I used the dies and cut out the bird. And I used my bow punch and some of the dies from Winterly Treetops and did some leaves, some stems. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do except for the sentiment. And I thought I'd use Thinking of You Always. And that came from the Winterly Treetops. So I'm going to do it on here. And I'm going to do it in Misty Moonlight. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the white. Thinking of You Always. Whew, that came on dark. All right. My Misty Moonlight, I guess I have re-inked it recently. Okay, I'm going to get this straight. Thinking of You Always. So I'll put away my ink. Bring in my trimmer. Now I could use a die for this, but I'm just gonna use the trimmer right now. Trim it down. Leave a little bit of edge because I think I'll banner it. Leave a little bit of an edge. Okay. Banner it, or maybe I'll angle it. Get my scissors. I think I'll angle it. There we go. Thinking of You Always. I'll get my scrap. All right, we're going to get this jewel down. I'm going to put the bird down with dimensionals. Am I saving the best for last? Saving the pleated part for last. All right. Got some new dimensionals here. So I'll put my bird down with dimensionals. That way I can tuck the stems up under. Now let's see. Do I want to offset? I think so. I think I'll put that there. Put this not quite in the middle. All right, so I've got these stems that come with the set. Put one there. Tuck one under there. And then I've got these. These are from the bow punch. They can overhang there. maybe down here, one of these. Let's see. See where one of the pieces did not punch out. There we go. I think that's, I don't know, I might come back in a minute and put some smaller pieces down, but let's get these down. I'm just going to use my Tombow glue. I don't need much. I'll put the first one sort of right there. And then the second piece, I'll just put on top. I usually don't glue my whole stem down because I want some dimension. I want it to stick up a little bit, so I usually don't glue the whole thing down. If it's on the inside, of course, I have to glue it all down, but if it's on the outside, I usually don't do that. Move that, put this right here. And this one is going to go right under it. Okay. There's that one. Now, do I want to add these? I could. I could add that one there. Maybe I'll just add that one there. Let's do that. I think we've got enough. Get it under the bird's tail. There, right there. All right, am I thinking of you always? You know, I could even put one. I might even do that. But this is going to go on dimensionals too. So we'll do that. Okay. And it is going to go right here. It's hard looking at it up. Here we go. Now let's see. Do I want to put this one up here? I kind of like it sitting on top of it. I like that. And then I've got some gems. I mean, you could do ribbon. You could do whatever you want. But I like that right there. I did pull out some gems. These are really beautiful. These are two-tone sparkle gems. Those are pretty. They just pick up the colors. And then these are low-profile sparkle dots, and it would be this more the misty or the Lost Lagoon color. And these would be the petal pink, and I don't think I want to do petal pink on petal pink. So it's this one or this one. I think I like these. So let's go with this. I think these are pretty peacock. Let me grab my take a pick tool. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it here. I'm not going to put it up on the sentiment piece because it's already raised. I'm using the putty end of my Take a Pick tool to pick it up. It's there. Yeah, I like those. And put that right there. There we go. Thinking of you always. All right, I think we've got our front done. Now, for the fun part. You ready for this? All right, here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this piece with the real faint image on it. We're going to put it over here. Well, no, we're not. We're going to do our pleat. So we're going to take our 4x4, and you need a pencil. And I use my trimmer, but you could use a ruler. I use my trimmer. And we're going to mark it. The first thing we're going to do is score it at 2, because this is 4x4. So we're going to score it at 2. Now, it's on this paper, it doesn't show up real great. And that's why I think I'm going to mark on the other side, maybe. You can mark on either side. But you just have to fold it in reverse. So we'll do that. I'm going to mark it. So the first mark is going to be at 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to mark it top and bottom. And I just mark it at 3/4 of an inch. You want to make sure you can see it. And then we're going to mark it at 1.5 inch. And then we're going to mark it at 2.5, top and bottom. And then 3 1/4. All right. Now we're going to do some scoring. We're going to score from the 3/4, which is the first one, to the 3 1/4, which is the last one. So put your 3/4 mark right on your crease, and put your 3 1/4 mark right on your crease. Make sure they both stay on there. Now you're going to score. Just don't tear your paper. All right, then we're going to go to our 1.5 inch mark and our 2.5 inch mark, which is right here. It's just the next marks. And then we're going to go to the 2.5 on this side and the 1.5 on this side. This is why you need to be able to see, see your marks. And then we're going to go to the 3 1/4. We're going to go from the longest back to the shortest again. We started that way, and we're going to end that way. Just doing it in reverse. All right. So we have got our pleats scored. So the first thing we're going to do, now we're going to go to this side, and I think we can see it. I might have to do my second one again. From that mark to this mark. That's my second score. I couldn't see it real well. And then this one. the 3/4 to the 3 1/4. I'm just rescoring. I want to make sure I can see them. All right. First thing, we've already folded. Where's my illustration? I've got an illustration here. We're not going to do any more scoring. Put that away. I'm a visual person. So, because I did it on the back side, we're going to fold the center fold in a valley. Fold it in a valley fold. And if you've never done that, valley, it looks like the valley. And then the mountain is going to be creased up. So the first fold, the center fold, is in a valley. And you can go ahead and burnish that with your bone folder. Our next fold is going to be a mountain. So that is this one coming to this one. This fold right here is a mountain fold, and on both sides. So that's a mountain on that side of your center fold and a mountain on this side of your center fold. So we have a valley and 2 mountains so far. Okay, it doesn't seem even. I'm not sure why. And this is where you have to really watch your measurements. Let me see here. So I scored at 3/4. And then at 1 1/2. I see what I did wrong. My 1 1/2 is a little bit off. And that's what the problem was. So I can fix that by rescoring. It just didn't feel right. 1 1/2 to this one. Now it's going to make a little bit of difference right there. Okay. So we've got a valley and 2 mountains. And then our last fold is a valley again. And that's this one. The one from the edge, one edge to the other edge is a valley. So you want to fold it in a valley. And on the other side, the very last one, we want to fold it in a valley. There we go. I promise you, after you practice it just a few times, it will make so much sense. All right, we have valley, mountain, valley, valley, mountain, valley. And this one, we're going to fold valley, mountain. Getting it folded that first time, mountain, valley. Then when you fold it this way, okay, this is how it's going to be. And it's going to fold in like this and fold in like this. Valley, mountain, get it done right, it's going to look like this. And what you're probably going to have to do, this is the valley or the mountain that I redid. So it needs to be okay. So when you get it done right, it's going to fold up like this. And you want to even it up, and you'll have to even it up. And I mean, it's going to come out a little different every time. But nonetheless, you'll have your prism. A pleated prism. And when you fold it, it'll fold in like that every time. Once you do it a time or two, it'll fold it automatically. All right, we've got our prism cut and ready to go. So what we're going to do now, you want your center line to be just to the left of your center paper. So I'm putting it just, I mean, barely to the left. And I'm going to, that's where it's going to go. So I'm going to put my square, even it up. That's where it's going to go, but I'm going to have to, I want to use my Tombow so that I can move it around. All right, I want this just the center valley, just to the left of center. So my card is going to go right up against the edge and centered. So it's going to have just the smallest amount of space. Now I'm going to take my adhesive and we're going to put down the first edge. And I'm kind of running it along the pleat there, if I can get it to come out. And run it along the pleat on this side. Okay, and this is going to go right up. And it's just a little bit bigger. Right up against there. And our center is going to be just to the left of the other, of the card center. And now we're going to put this piece on. I can do this one because I don't have to worry so much about centering it. And we're going to put it up against this, even though it's leaving more of a gap. That's okay. Now we're going to get this side down. Get this side down. And we're going to have to manipulate it a little bit as we open it and close it the first time or two. But once you do it, valley, there we go. There we go. And when you do that, you're going to have to rearrange your center just a little bit. So I try to even it up. I mash it down here because that fold changes it. I mean, there's just no way to keep it from not changing it. This comes out. Like I said, you practice with it a few times and it'll just do it automatically. There it is. So there we have our we have our pleated prism card. If you want to put more on the inside, you can. And now it closes automatically. And that's it. I know that's a lot. I know it's a lot. But with a little bit of practice, you can do it. You can do it, and it is so, so worth it. So I've shown you this card, and you see after you've closed it and opened it a few times, it just automatically does it the right way. Okay, so we've got that one, and now we've got this one, which it's already doing it the right way. You just have to work with it. I've got a couple more I want to show you. I did this one with the birthday set. Was it Beautiful Birthday? I think it's on the Last Chance. It's in the Last Chance rack, and so if you enjoy this paper with the cutouts as much as I've enjoyed it, then you might want to go grab it. And the inside, again, I used the pieces from the cutouts. Isn't that pretty? Won't they be surprised when they open that up? And there is the beautiful pleated center. Love that. Love it. And then this one, Have a Blessed Day. And these are retired products. This paper is retired, and I'm sorry about that because it's beautiful, but I wanted to use it. I did emboss the front of this. Our new, the new Faith set. What's it called? Faith Collection. This new Faith Collection has these awesome dies, and I have enjoyed this set so much. This is a cross from that collection. And then I did use the metallic paper, and it worked well. It really did. I was really surprised that it worked as well as it did. So the center of that one, isn't that stunning? I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. So those are the cards that I did. And you do have to work with it a little bit. You do have to work with it. This is your measurement points. This is what you are going to do your pencil marks: 3/4 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3 1/4. And then when you score, you're going to go from the 3/4. Let me make sure I've got it. 3/4 to the 3 1/4, from the 1.5 to the 2.5, and then from the 2.5 to the 1.5, and from the 3 1/4 to the 3/4. That's how you score it. You've got your center fold. Once you get that down, you got it. These are your other measurements. So I hope that has helped. I will put these all on my blog sometime later today. And hopefully that will, I hope you'll give it a try. I really hope you'll give it a try. It is so worth the effort. So worth the effort. All right. Well, I hope that that's been an encouragement to you. When I saw it, I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to do that. And it was trial and error. I think I threw the first one away, but that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with the trial and error process. And once you get it down, I mean, it never is perfect. It never has come out perfect for me. But to look at the card, you would not know it. You would not know it. So give it a try. Thank you for watching today. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and enjoy what's left of summer. Not much left of summer, is there? All right. So thank you for being here. Okay, I want you to try it. I want you to try it because I think you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love giving those cards to somebody. All right. Thanks for watching, Clint. All righty. We're off. Have a great day. Be blessed. Bye-bye.